Welcome, fellow survivors, to a build like no other, my all-in-one swamp base. This rustic, magnificent design is perfect for any map, and any adventurer brave enough to thrive in the swamp. In this incredible base you'll find a main crafting area complete with an integrated frog pen, so your amphibian companions can keep you company while you work. An upstairs living space, perfect for relaxing after a long day of exploring the swampy wilds. A landing platform for your flyers to safely touch down and rest. And of course a special snail hut to keep your slimy little friends cozy and protected. If you enjoyed today's video, don't forget to smash that like button, drop a comment with what you want me to build next, and why not subscribe? It's completely free and helps me out a ton. Now without further ado, let's dive into today's swampy build tutorial. Hello ladies and jelly spoons, and welcome back to another thrilling building episode with me, LolsAtLance. Today we're embarking on a wild journey to create an all-in-one swamp base. If you've been following my work, you might recognise my starter beach hut from 7 months ago, or my survival series base I built a while back. Well, today I'm taking the best elements from those builds to create something brand new. A swamp base that's both functional and stylish. So here we are, deep in the swamp on the island. On the map we're located at, latitude 71, longitude 25.6. This area? Well, it's a swamp. And you know what that means? Plenty of water, trees and rocks for resources. But of course it's not all sunshine and rainbows, the swamp is teeming with danger. So be prepared to keep your wits about you if you decide to build here. Also, just a quick reminder guys, if you haven't subscribed yet, what on earth are you doing? Get off your ass, click that button, and you'll get lots more content just like this. Okay, well, I've chosen an area that's kind of in between a very, very thick and dense swamp and the other part of the swamp. So this is like, I'd say, a really dense swamp over here. The only reason I haven't built here, which would have looked fantastic if I did build in this area, because I love like this green algae in the water. The only thing is, if I go up here, you'll see that I have a base here. I have my old Zelda base, so I feel like that might cause a bit of lag. And I've also, if I go this way as well, over here again where there's like a nice like load of green algae, very fun looking area, I've got my treehouse just here, so it might cause lag if I try and build here. So I'm kind of going in between the two, which is this area, which still counts as the swamp, but it's more like a mangrove swamp. There's a lot of mangrove looking trees here going into the water, kind of cool, right next to the redwood forest here. So this is my chosen place to build. So to start off today's build guys, we're going to be using pillars to get ourselves out of the water and into the air. So I've got up, so a good way to do this guys, if I do it right here, you want to have the pillar just above the water, which it's perfectly doing right now, just above the water. So the first pillar basically starts at water level, and then the next one goes up again, and that's the kind of height we're looking for. So as you can see here, I've started off with a pillar that's basically at water level and comes up by 2 more. So 1, 2, 3 in total, but as long as the first one out of the water is on water level. Another thing, because we are in a very, very dangerous area, I recommend using some stone pillars at the bottom and then use wood as you go towards the top, which is probably what I'll be doing from here on out. So next up, we're going to place another ceiling next to this, so that's 1, 2 ceilings in total, and then we're going to take our triangle ceiling and go 1, 2, 3 in total, and then place your pillars going down to the floor, followed by a stone one at the bottom. And in fact, you'd probably want to do stone for the first 2, just to make sure if a croc comes, an alligator comes, tries to eat on this, it won't be able to do any damage. That's the idea. So what we're going to do next guys, we're just going to repeat the pattern we've got here. So we've got 1, 2 ceilings and 1, 2, 3 triangles. So what you're going to do next is just repeat the pattern. So we're going to go 1, 2 ceiling, then use your pillars going down, and then 1, 2, 3 triangles, so on and so forth until you go all the way around and meet back where you started. There we go. So once you've gone all the way around, it should look something like this. And don't worry too much about the uniformity of the pillars because they will be hidden. You're not really going to see these ones, so do not worry. So next up, I'm going to go in by one more all the way around. So I'm going to use the ceiling tiles next to the triangles all the way around. And then I'm going to use the triangles to go all the way around. There we go. So I've perfectly left the middle out here just because I think we're going to do something I haven't done in a long time. And that is I'm going to bring the base down here. I'm going to actually extend it downwards by a quarter wall using stone. I'm going to go all the way around now with some quarter walls. There we go. And now from the bottom of the quarter wall here, I'm going to start placing in a triangle wherever there's a triangle. I'll place a triangle here. Doesn't really matter where you do it. You could do it from the square as well, but I'm going to start from the triangle. And then I'm going to miss one out and then do another triangle. And then all the way around do the same thing. And then in the gaps, I'm just going to place in a ceiling all the way around like this. And now we're probably going to need a bit more pillar support here. So I'm just going to quickly shove in some stone pillars going all the way down to the floor in a couple of places here. And then I'm going to fill in the middle with some triangle ceiling tiles like so. Okay, now to give us a bit more room to work here, because it's going to be a bit of a hassle trying to work this way. You're basically going to be building from the inside out. I think let's put in a decking all the way around the build, so it's going to be 10 times easier for us. Now, for the decking, everywhere where I've done squares, I'm going to do triangles. So I'm going to go triangles like this, outwards. And everywhere I've done triangles, I'm going to do squares. So I'm going to put 2 squares here. And we're going to go all the way around doing that now. And we're going to do one more layer now. Just the same principles again. Everywhere there's a triangle, there's going to be a square. And everywhere there's a square, there will be a triangle. And there we go. Once you've added in those 2 layers of decking, it should look like this. So to start the hut that we're going to add in here, we're not going to place it in where we just added in this line of decking. No, we're going to add it in right here, which is exactly 1, 2 from the outside where we've added in the decking. And in total, we're going to go up by 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. That's how high we're going to go with our walls. So let's go ahead and add in all our walls now. Now, I'm quickly just going to show. So this is going to be the front of my build here. This will be the front right here. So I'm going to place in a pillar going all the way up on this side as well. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And then just so I know where the front of the build's going to be, I'm going to add in a gateway here. So I'm going to add in a giant dinosaur gate, as you can see. And then all the way around here, we're going to be adding in some stone walls going all the way around. So it should look something like this. Now the next stage I'm going to do is I'm going to plan some windows out. So I'm going to add in, probably we're going to have a window on this side here. So I'm going to use some quarter walls here. I'm going to go up 1, 2, 3, 4. Then I'm going to go up 1, 2, 3. Then to the side. And back down again. And what my plan is with this window is I'm going to use railings here. So I'm going to place in a railing on the side. So it's going to clip into this wall if we can. So we're going to put one there and one here. And then we're going to try and get it so it goes angles up just like that. I'm going to angle it up just like that. And we're going to do the same up here as well. We're going to put it into the wall. 1, 2. And then we're going to angle it into each other like so. So you've got this nice little pattern here. And then to finish it off, we're going to use the skinny pillar. So not the thick pillar, but the skinny one. And we're going to place it dead in the middle, like so. And what we're going to do with this window design, guys, is we're going to place it on every other wall. So I'm going to miss a wall here. This will just be a normal wall. So this will just probably be wood, like so. And then we'll do a window design here. So this will be a window. Then we'll miss. Then we'll add in a window. Then we'll miss. Then we'll add in a window. Then we'll miss. Add in a window. Miss. Add in a window. So I'm going to go ahead and do that now. And I'll see you in a second. And once you've added in all the windows, it should look something like this. And all we're going to do with these gaps is we're just going to simply add in some standard walls all the way around. Okay, so next up we're going to be adding in some walls going up by a further 2, like this. Now I do think that I'm probably going to want some windows up here. I just don't know where I want them yet. And the windows I'll probably be doing will probably look something like this. So I might, for now, I might just add them above the windows we've already got, potentially. I might change my mind later, so just be aware of that, but we'll just do this pattern all the way around. So 2 windows or doorways and 2 walls. And then for the layer above, we'll just do walls all the way around. Okay, so for the next part of the build, we're going to be doing the roof. Now, the roof is pretty simple to start off with anyway. We're just going to be using thatch standard roof. And we're even going to do an overhang. So we're going to do 1, 2, followed by 1, 2 at the bottom. And another 1, 2 above. And then next to that, we're going to use the triangle thatch roof. And we're going to go across at the bottom for the overhang by 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And then we're going to do 1, 2, 3. And 1 at the top. And then we're simply going to repeat that pattern all the way around. So the next one's going to be squares. And then it'll be triangles on the next one. And then squares. So on and so forth until you get all the way around. And once you've added in all of that thatch roof, it should look something like this. But we're not actually finished here, because we're going to keep on going with the roof. I'm going to add in a pillar going up. I'm going to place in a wall next to this, so from the roof up. And then I'm going to take my triangle roof and place it in. Like this. And I'm actually not going to just go all the way around. So I am going to go all the way around, obviously. So we're going to go all the way around just like this. Bam, bam, bam. So we're not just going to do this. We're actually going to bring the roof down. So it's going to have a bit of an overhang. So to do this, we're just going to use the triangles again, going further down. But this time we're going to place in 5. So that's kind of the shell of the main base that we've added in here. This is the shell. But we're going to keep on adding like bits of detail in places where we can. So the first bit of detail I want to add in is I'm going to actually remove the first, or no, the second. Actually, this is the first. So not that one. You don't want to put that one, not the overhang. You want to do the second one up. So this one here, you want to pick that up. And then you're going to place in a quarter wall either side, like so. Now, on top of the quarter walls here, we're going to place in an ASR thatch shallow roof. Now, this is essentially a ramp, so if you do not have this mod installed, do not fear. Because instead of this roof here, you can simply go to your wooden roof and switch over to the ramp. And then place in the ramp instead. And it's still going to give quite a nice rustic vibe, which is exactly what I'm going for. So do not fret if you do not have the ASR shallow roof. You can still build this perfectly fine in vanilla ARK. Now I'm going to show you a little pattern that I learnt recently that someone on a charity stream I did showed me how to do. A guy called Dad, so thank you Dad for showing me this. So you place in a railing here, and because it's only a quarter wall high, you can get a really fun little pattern if you manage to flip it round and then place it inside each other like that. Pretty cool little pattern you got there. So we're going to do this exact same thing every other roof. So not on the triangle ones, but on the square ones. So this is a square one, and then it will be on this one as well. Basically every single square roof all the way around, we're going to do this. So I'm going to go ahead and do that now, and I'll see you in a second. And once you've added in all those dormers, it should look something like this. Now, you may notice there's little gaps missing here, which I completely forgot about until just now when I saw it. So to just fix this, you're going to put in a railing, basically. Now, it doesn't really matter what way you go. In fact, it does. We're going to go this way around. We're going to go this way around. And the reason we're going to go this way around as opposed to the other is because these are going to be detailings on the roof I'm going to place in later anyway. I'm basically going to do this. I better as well show you now. I don't know why I just don't show you now. I'm going to put in railings coming crisscross on the triangle sections, like so. And then on these vertical sections, I'm going to place in railings going up, like so. I say like so a lot. I must be so annoying listening to me say like so every 5 seconds during my tutorials. Oh my goodness me. But we're going to do this all the way around, so I'm going to quickly do that now. And once you've added in all your railings, it should look something like this. And I'm pretty much going to do something very similar for the top part here as well. We're going to do crisscross on the triangle section. So this is a triangle section here. We'll do a crisscross. And in fact, all of them are triangle sections. All of them are triangle sections. So we're just going to place in a crisscross, followed by lines going either side. And we're going to do that all the way around. And there we go. It's looking a little bit chaotic at the moment, but I promise you it will all come together at the end. Now, for the very tippy top up here, we're first of all going to place in some triangle roofing, or ceilings rather, going all the way around. And then we're going to do something a little bit unusual that you don't see very often. Now, I did this on my most recent video that I released about a week ago, my starter base video, where I placed spikes on the very tippy top as a roof feature. It kind of makes it look like the roof keeps on going at the top. So let's place in one here. Now I'm actually going to take it off full alignment mode. At the moment it's on full alignment mode. I want free placing mode. There we go. So I'm going to place in one right here. And I'm going to go on the opposite side. I'm going to make sure snapping is off, because at the moment it's snapping everywhere. And then I'm going to place one right here in the middle. Like this. Very nice. And then in between the two of these, now that because I've got it on free placing mode, I should be able to place it inside each other. I'm going to place it dead in the middle again. And the same on this side. It should work. Yes, it does. And it should look pretty good. Hopefully. Hopefully it should look pretty good. Look at that. It's like the cherry on top. It just makes the whole build. So that's very, very nice. Now for the next part of the detailing work, we're going to be adding in pillars. So I'm going to start off with the thick pillars here, and I'm basically going to do thick pillars wherever there's a corner of the build. So each corner of the build, hello, whatever you are, the flying bird thing, I can't remember what their name is. I'm going to go up each corner, all the way around. There we go. So we've got pillars going all the way around. And we're not done there with the pillars because we're also going to line the roof with some pillars. So we're going to go all the way around the lining of the roof here. And also the top lining of the roof, we're going to go all the way around. Very, very nice. And then we're going to take our pillars again, but we're going to be using the skinny pillar. And we're going to come down from the roof. Every corner of the roof, we're going to come down with a skinny pillar. Pillar? What was I saying then? Pillar? There we go. So you should have added in all your skinny pillars going all the way around. And now we're going to, from the pillars that we put in up here, we're going to use them to try and get it to kind of go into the skinny pillar. Now if we try to do it from the skinny pillar, you'll see that we'll never get the right angle. So this is why you have to use the pillars up here. So I'm going to try and get it from that snap point. Something like that. And we're going to kind of do that all the way around. So I'm going to try and get it again here. There we go. So that's what we want. We want that. And we want to do that everywhere. I'm not really sure if I want to do it. Let's try it here as well. In the middle. See if it works and if it looks good or not. Yeah, I'm not sure about the middle bits. Here's what I'm thinking then. I'm not sure about the middle bits for now. So let me just remove that if I can. That is... I just deleted a wall. Whoopsie daisy. So we're going to do it not on where there's two. We're going to do it... what is that? That is nothing. We're going to do it on every three. So on the triangle pieces. So wherever there's a triangle roof up here, this is where we're going to be placing in our railings. So whenever there's a triangle, we're going to simply go across and do this. So not on this one. That's not a triangle up there, but this one. So we're going to do that all the way around, and I'll see you in a second. And there we have it. Yeah, I think I made the right decision not to do it in between every single one. I think that might have been a little bit too much on the eyes, so I think I made the right call there. There we go. I think I made the right decision, you know. I think I made the right decision in missing out each kind of other section. I think it would have been too much on the eyes, so we made the right call there. Now, this next part is another detailing part, and honestly, because this will take up a lot of pillars, there's going to be an awful lot of pillars this part, you can skip it. It's not a necessity, so do feel free to skip ahead, because this is going to go into some crazy pillar work now. Right, so we're going to start off with quarter walls. We're going to be placing in quarter walls going across the entire rim of the decking. We're going to go all the way around. There we go, and once you've added in those quarter walls, we're then going to be adding in our pillars. So again, I recommend probably going for wood with stone. So I'm going to do one wood, and then one wood above that. And then the next two will just be stone. And we're going to do this on every single corner of the base. So we're going to go to each corner and do the exact same thing. And with those big pillars in, it should look something like this. Now, you think we're done with pillars at this point. Oh no, I'm going to start to go a bit more crazy with some pillars. So I'm going to be placing in skinny pillars now, starting from each quarter wall in between, like so. We're going to do that, and we're going to go all the way to the floor as well. We're going to go all the way to the floor. But if you think that's all I'm doing, you're surely mistaken, because I'm also going to be adding in a quarter wall, a railing. I'm going to be doing some railings here, and I think the way I'm going to do this is I'm going to attach it to the pillar, and I'm going to try and go down like so. all the way through to the bottom, diagonally. And then I'm going to do the exact same thing coming down from this pillar here. Now, if the pillars are a little bit wonky for you, what I suggest you could do is perhaps try and go from the middle pillar if you can. I don't think that will work though. I think you've got to have these pillars straight to do this little pattern. So yeah, I'm going to start from this pillar then. Now you may run into the issue I'm running into where this railing won't want to go in through the other railings. So I'm actually going to start from this side now, from the bottom pillar if I can, and go up. There we go. Now will I get these two to connect? No. No, damn. Okay, this worked in testing. Can I just say this worked in testing? And now it's not working. But you get what I'm trying to do here. You get what I'm trying to do. How on earth did I do it then? How on earth did I do it? Okay, well, we're going to forget the crisscross. We're going to forget the crisscross. For now, if I can work it out, I'll show you maybe during the base tour or something. I'll try and work it out. But man, I managed to do it earlier. That sucks. Hang on a minute. I think I know how I did it. I think I know how I did it. I think I didn't have it perfectly crisscross. So a perfect crisscross would mean it would perfectly cross into each other in the middle. I think what I must have done, this is the only feasible way. I think I did it from a second pillar perhaps, like this. I'm going to go through that way. That's possibly how I did it. Let's see how this looks. Yeah. I think this is probably how I did it then. I think that must be how I did it. So all you got to do is, you can't have it perfectly going through each other in the middle. They're going to have to be slightly off. So you'll probably start one from a pillar up here. And then the next one you'll start from one of these skinny pillars, if that makes sense. Now the only thing is you won't be able to do this exact same design on every single one. The issue being that these pillars on the sides kind of prevent that. These pillars here, they'll kind of prevent that because these are not aligned with this wall here. They're kind of aligned to the next one. So you can do it on every other wall. So you can do it on this one here. I can't do it on this one, but I can do it on this one here. So we're going to be doing that pattern all the way around, guys. We're going to do this same thing all the way around. If you can't do the crisscross, do not worry, just leave it out and just do pillars all the way to the floor like this. So I'm going to go ahead and do that now, and I'll see you in a second. Okay, there we go. So I've added in all these pillars going all the way around. I've done some crisscrosses where I can. Obviously, they're not in the perfect center, but I'm okay with that. I want it to be a bit rustic, like rackety kind of feel to the building, like it's just been kind of hodgepodge put together. So we got kind of like some off crosses in random places around the build. Not everywhere. I didn't do the back with them, just at the front areas really. And well, all that's really left for us to do with the main building is add in a gate and also add in some windows here, because we got these giant doorways open. I'm going to add in some rope ladders on the inside for our window design. And that is the main building complete. But that isn't the base complete, because the base is going to be much bigger. I want to add in some platforms for landing rhino ganathas, the fly dragonfly things. I want to land the dragonflies on these, and I want to possibly have another hut as well, maybe with a bedroom inside. I'm basically replicating what I've done previously. So I did a survival base very similar to this in many ways, because I had platforms come away from it where I put my dinosaurs. I also had a starter base like this that worked really well. So that's what I want to do here. So to do this, let's start off with our first platform. So I'm going to do a platform coming out from the side here. So not from the very front, although the front could be cool. I'm going to place it from the side. And thanks to all the quarter walls that we placed in earlier, we're going to be able to put in the stairs coming down from one quarter wall away from the edge and one quarter wall away from the edge there. So it's right in the middle, these two stairways. And after that, we're going to put a ramp And then after that, we're going to place in an upside down ceiling. And now we need to place in a very temporary pillar. This pillar is not going to stay here. I'm just going to put it in temporarily. And then again, we'll place in a ramp, followed by stairs. And now you want to place in pillars coming down from the stairs all the way into the ground, either side. And then you can delete the temporary pillar that you placed a minute ago. And that, ladies and jelly spoons, is how you do a bridge. I don't know what these are called. Are they called suspension bridges? I don't know. I've forgotten the name. The bridges. The suspension bridge. That, I think it is a suspension bridge. And now this is simply going to be connected to a platform. So for the platform's going to be very simple. We're going to be placing in 2 ceilings, followed by 1, 2, 3 triangles, and then 2 ceilings, so on and so forth, until you go all the way around and meet back up where you started. And obviously, when you need to place in pillars, then make sure you place in your pillars for support. Now, the only thing is we're not going to be using these thick pillars for this. We're just going to be using skinny pillars. So I want to use skinny pillars all the way around where we need support. There we go. So once you've gone all the way around, it should look something like this. And all you've got to do, similar to what we did over there earlier, you just need to fill in the middle. So I'm going to go ahead and do that now. And there we go, that is the first platform in. Now, I want to add in quite a lot of detail. So if you can't be bothered to do the detail, because it is going to be a lot of materials again, I recommend just skipping forward a little bit, and I'll meet you at the next section. But for now, I'm going to show you how to do this. So we're going to go around the entire rim with quarter walls. And then, very similar to what we've done over here by placing in a ton of skinny pillars, we're going to do the same here. We're going to place in skinny pillars on every little inside bit of the quarter walls. Every bit of the quarter wall. I'm so good at explaining things today. You know, these bits in between bits of the quarter walls, we're going to place in a skinny pillar between those. So I'm going to go around the whole thing and do that now. And I'll see you in a second. And once you've added in all of those pillars, it should look something like this. Now, for an additional extra bit of detail, you can go to the corner bits and add in a skinny pillar. So it's kind of going into the other pillar a little bit by halfway. So it's basically snapping to the quarter wall here. And that means it doesn't go up fully all the way, because if it went up all the way, it would look like that. That's not what we want. We want it to do that. And I'll probably do that on each corner, like so, along with adding in a railing going across all of the rim, just like this. So I'm going to go away and do that now, and I'll see you in a second. And once you've added in all those railings and all those pillars, it should look something like this. Now, I did go up a little bit higher with the pillar right here, where it just joins onto the bridge. And I probably also will need to add in some railings going across the bridge as well, just so you know. So once you've done this side, guys, what you could go ahead and do is add in another one on the opposite side, because why not? You could have 2 platforms here. You don't just have to have one, you could have 2. So I suggest that you do the exact same thing I've just done there on this side as well, if you need another platform. But next, I'm going to show you a slightly different platform, because this platform is going to go over to a little hut. That's what I want to do. I want to do a little hut over to the side here. So rather than start next to this one... Oh, I just saw this ceiling. Get out of here. I'm going to start it on the next one over. So not that one, but this one. And I'm literally going to do a drawbridge again. I called it a drawbridge. It's not a drawbridge. I think it's a suspension bridge. And I'm going to do it from the middle this time. And I'm only going to do one rather than two. So I'm going to do one, and I'm going to do ramp. There we go. So we've got another suspension bridge here, and I can remove the fake mini support here. That's just a temporary support. Exactly what we just did over here, but with a much smaller version here. So the next thing I'm going to do is add in the platform. Now this platform is going to be significantly smaller than that one. I'm going to go one ceiling. Then I'm going to use 1, 2, 3 triangles. And then one ceiling again. And that is the pattern we're going to do all the way around until we reach back to where we started. And similar to that platform over there, I'm only going to be using skinny pillars rather than the thick ones. There we go. So it should look something like this. Now, for the interior part, we're just going to place in a triangle wherever there's a square. So wherever there's a square, I'll put a triangle. And wherever there's a triangle, I'm of course going to place in a square. There we go. And just so you know, for the bottom part here, I'm going to do the exact same thing I've done here on this part. So that'll be quarter walls at the bottom going across like so, and skinny pillars on each section coming down like so. So I'm going to quickly go ahead and do that now, and I'll see you in a second. And there we go, that platform is all complete with the details included, and we are ready to place in the building. Now, for this building, we're simply going to go up by 1, 2, 3 in total, all the way around, missing one away from the railing, because that's going to be our decking. Very nice. So that's 1, 2, 3 high in total all the way around. And now we're going to do the roof. Now for this roof, we're going to be slightly different here. We're going to do the overhang only for the roof. So I'm going to do a thatch wherever there's a square down here. We're going to do a thatch normal roof up here. And whenever there's a triangle down here, we're going to use the triangle roof up here by 1, 2, 3. And we're going to do that all the way around. There we go. And then on top of this, we're going to be adding in the roof, the ceiling, rather. We're going to be adding in a ceiling going across this. So you're simply going to want to do one triangle followed by one square all the way around. And then fill in the middle with triangles. But now we're going to be a little bit weird. We're going to place a pillar in the middle. And we're going to do another layer of triangles going all the way around. And you'll see why in a second. And now we're going to grab our spike walls and do something similar to what we did up there on that roof. We're going to place in spike walls around each side of this. Now this is a little bit tricky. So I'm going to place one here. One here. One here. There we go. So I've placed that going all the way around. And now on the very, very tippy top layer, we're going to place this in. Now actually in survival, it would probably be easier to do the top layer first and work your way down. because I don't know how you're going to get up here without hurting yourself otherwise. So yeah, definitely do the top part first. But I'm going to place it in now. So I'm going to do one right on the edge here. I'm going to go to the opposite side and place in another one right on the edge if I can. And then I'm going to try and go in between the two and place in another one on top. And the same on this opposite side over here. I'm going to try and place one directly in the middle. And the end result should be something that looks like this. Now, I'm starting to regret not adding in stone on the bottom. I think in hindsight, maybe quarter stone walls around the bottom might have looked fairly nice. But, I mean, you guys can do that if you want to. I think that will probably look better. Let's add in a doorway here, and then let's work out where we're going to add in our windows. So I think for the windows, we are going to be using quarter walls. So I'm actually going to pick up those two. I know I deleted them, but you guys can pick them up rather than delete to not waste any valuable materials. We're going to place in quarter walls at the bottom and quarter walls at the top. And then we're going to place in some railings. Now, unfortunately, we can't do the same design we did there. Because if I try that here, as you can see, the railing's going to stick out. It's going to stick out from the side. So we can't do that. So instead, I'm going to add in a pillar going up to the top. Then put in a sideways one. I can't put in a sideways one. I can't put in a sideways one. Damn it. Okay, we're going to have to do just railings, aren't we? Railings going up to the top. You can tell I've planned this out really well. And this is a perfect tutorial with no flaws whatsoever. So I guess we'll just do something like that. Just place in your railings however you want in the middle of the two quarter walls with a pillar going in between the middle. And we're going to do that on every other side. So not this wall here. We're going to miss one and then probably add it in here. And then miss one and then add one here. Then miss one, add one here. Miss one, add one here. Miss one, add one here. So we're going to do that now, and I'll see you in a second. And once you've added in all those windows, it should look something like this. Now, I think the only other thing that I need to do here is add in some pillars. So probably the thick ones. I'm not sure if I want to go thick or skinny. Thick or skinny is the question. What's going to look better? I think thick. We'll try thick. Okay, if thick doesn't look right, we'll just go to skinny. Doesn't really matter. Yep, I think thick was the way to go. I think that looks pretty good. Lastly, I just want to add in skinny pillars coming down from the roof into the railings here at the bottom. I think that's going to look a lot nicer if we do it like this. So I'm going to do that all the way around. Nice. And then I'm quite tempted actually to add in some railings as well, going across the top like this in places. So basically every corner add in a railing. There we go. And then the last thing that I think I'll do for the additional detail is just do what I did up here with the pillars. I'm going to add in pillars going around like so. Very, very nice. And if I was feeling crazy, guys, if I was feeling absolutely wild, I could also do this. I could get a railing. I'm going to flip it. And then I'm going to try and snap it to this pillar coming down to make a little archway. If I can, will it let me? There we go. One there, one there. And I could do that on every other one. So it's not going to work here, of course. So I'm going to do it here as well. And there we go. I feel like that hut's complete. And again, similar to what I said about this platform, you can literally just duplicate this. And I think I will later. I'm going to duplicate what I've done here on the opposite side. So the exact same thing here on that side as well. So there'll be a big bridge coming out from here. and there'd be a little bridge coming out from over here somewhere. From here, I think. Just on the opposite side, basically. So I guess now I can start work on the interior of the main building, which is going to be like our crafting hub. So the first thing I want to work out is how am I going to get up to a second floor? Because I want to make a second floor to this base, I think. So I think if I start some stairs going up here, so I'm going to start them coming up from this square ceiling here and go up by 2. And then we're going to place in 1, 2, 3 triangle ceilings. And then go up by 1, 2 again. And I think this might be where I start my next floor from. We're going to do the second floor right here. So you just need to follow the pattern on the floor. So next it would be 2 squares, followed by triangles, etc, etc, until you fill in the whole inside area, leaving a little bit of a gap here so you can still get in without bumping your head. So let's go ahead and do that now. And there we go, that is the second floor in. As you can see, I left a little bit of a gap so we don't bump our head on the way up. So this will be probably where I put a bedroom, I'm guessing. Maybe a bedroom, maybe some sort of living area up here. Now, one thing I do want to try here, and I'm praying that this doesn't break the entire roof above us, is I want to remove this wall. And I'm praying that this pillar here will actually, you know, keep the roof up. And just to be safe, I'm going to place in some skinny pillars all around here, just in case. Hopefully this keeps the roof up. Okay, let's take this out and see what happens. It's fine. It's absolutely fine. Okay, perfect. Right, so I'm going to be totally honest. I'm not 100% sure if I'm going to be doing the interior design work on camera today. This might be an endeavor that I do off camera. But I do have some vague ideas in my head. Just to give you an idea, I think this is going to be a frog pen in the middle here. This is going to be a nice big frog pen. And then I'm going to have crafting going all the way around the side here, followed by maybe storage up here and a living area. Or a bit of both. I'm not really sure yet. We'll see what I come up with, and I can show you during the base tour. But first of all, I want to bring our attention to the exterior again, because I haven't finished with the exterior. Oh no. Well, actually, I should probably mention that I did duplicate this over here to over here, as you can see. I duplicated the platform, the bridge, and the hut over here. Duplicated on the other side as well, so it's got a nice symmetry about it. Very similar to my beach starter house that I built a long time ago. And I'll just double check that this Rhinognatha can fit in on the platform, which he can perfectly fine. But what I want to do now, guys, is I want to paint the roof. I think for a swampy area, the thatch roof doesn't work as well. I would like to paint the roof a very, very dark green. Now, the colour that I would like to paint the roof today is a very aptly named colour called Swamp. If I can find it. Is this Swamp? There it is, Swamp. We're going to colour the whole roof in Swamp. When I say the whole roof, I think number 1 is fine. So we got it on selected as number 1 colour region. We're going to paint number 1 all over this thatch roof. So literally, guys, anywhere that there's thatch. This is thatch, that's going to be green. This is thatch, this is all going to be swamp as well as the little hut over here. And because I've duplicated the hut over here, I'm going to have to do that one as well over here. This is also going to be green. So I'm going to go away and get this all painted up, guys. And I'll see you in a second. And once you've painted in all the thatch, it should look something like this. Now, you might think that we're done with the painting, but oh no, we're not quite done yet, because I would like to colour in the wood. And for the wood colour, I'm actually going to use a colour called Olive, if I can find it. I have no idea where it lives. Forest, Chateau, it must be down here. Olive? There it is, Olive. Now, this looks like it's going to come out green, but you are mistaken, because it won't come out green. It will come out like an earthy kind of brown. You see that? It's almost like a browny green, which I quite like, and I think it's going to work well for the look that I'm trying to achieve. So here's what we're going to paint, guys. We're going to paint all the railings. So anywhere that there's a railing on the roof, this is going to be painted olive green. Anywhere that there's a pillar going across the roof, this will also be olive green. I'm not 100% sure about these bits yet, so I think we'll leave them out for now and just see what it looks like if we just do the roof alone, and then we can make our minds up about this as well. So I'm going to go away and do that now, and I'll see you in a second. And once you've painted in all the railings and pillars across the roof, it should look something like this. And you might notice that I have accidentally painted the roof in olive in places, and I did it by accident, but I actually really like it. I think this is a happy accident. You know what Bob Ross used to say? There's no mistakes, only happy accidents. And that's what's happened here. I've done some happy accidents around, and I quite like that there's a bit of patchwork going on. So like some of this thatched grassy roof is like slightly different colours in places. I think that works really well. So if you like this effect, try and do the same. It's a completely swamp base, and then we put in some olive colouring as well. And we've done the exact same thing for the hut, of course. So all these pillars are olive green and the railings. And then I accidentally did a few, I say accidental, here I definitely did it on purpose. I put some of these as olive green in places, which I think works really well. I'm not really keen on this area though, I've just seen this over here. I don't think it works very well when it's just one random triangle. I think if I was to do it here, it would need to be like a whole area. So like more like this, more like that. And then I'll probably turn this one back to swamp green later, but that's how I would do that. Okay, well the last question really is this going to be olive green or not? Let's just try it at the very, very front and see what we think. That is a really, really tough decision because I quite like it with it and I quite like it without it. I think I'm going to go with it. I'm going to go with this color. Obviously, it's up to you guys if you want to color this in or not. I think I am going to color it in, and if I regret my decision later, then it's my own fault, isn't it? It's my own fault. So I'll probably have to do these huts as well. So I'm only going to do the beams coming down to the floor. I'm not going to start painting in all the pillars and all the railings everywhere. Just on these bits like here. So the support little railing, followed by the pillars coming down to the floor. These are all going to be painted olive green. So again, I'm going to go away and do that now, and I'll see you in a second. And once you've painted in all these skinny pillars around the build, it should look something like this, and I think I prefer this. Honestly, I think I prefer this. So really, just finishing touches now, guys. Now, I think we need a bit of a railing going around here, am I right? So I just thought about a railing design to do here, and I think, to be honest, simple is best. So doing something like this is going to be best, where I just do 3 pillars across, like so, and then I'm going to go up one here and up one here. So it goes up to the pillars each time, all the way around. I think that's going to look pretty good. But really, guys, that is the base all complete. So what I need to do now is go away, do all the additional little decorations, do the interior of the huts and the main building here. And then at the end, I'm going to show you everything that I've done during the base tour, so you get a good idea of what you could do in your own interior. So I'll see you guys after the cinematic shots. Well, the base is all complete, and I am ready to give you the base tour if I'm able to land my Regnafa? What are you called? Radio Nartha. Radio Gnath. Right, Radio Gnath. I said it perfect, and I am amazing. I can say the name, and no one say any different. Well, we better as well start the tour right here, because we are on one of the 2 landing platforms right now. And as you can see, you can perfectly fit 2 of these Rignio Gnartha things on the platform. You could probably fit in a 3rd as well, but it would be a little bit tight, if I'm honest. Now, I did place in a smithy and some storage, as well as a furnace over here, because I thought, you know, if you're... Oh, lovely, that's a poo. If you're flying around getting metal and you land back here, you're going to want to just smelt it straight away. So I thought, why not have it on the actual landing platform? Now, a few decorations you might have noticed that I've added all along the base is all of these vines, etc. So this is the only mod that I've used on the entire build, and that is the JVH landscaping mod. I've ended up putting quite a lot of vines and plants around the entire build on all the buildings. If I go over here, oh, I also added in mushrooms, which was a really nice touch. So this is the JVH landscaping bench. I use it in a lot of my videos. All you've got to do is place in some wood and fibre, and you're able to craft most of the stuff in here. You can craft trees. These are the hanging vines here. There's also these hanging vines over here as well. Now, if we scooch on up to the roof, you can see that I also added in some mushrooms along the roof, which I really, really like. I love that little detail of having mushrooms on the roof. I did experiment with a big mushroom, but I just felt like it looked out of place. I really want the build to be as vanilla as possible. I don't really like using mods, so using just these little mushrooms felt good to me. Like, it looks good and it feels good. So of course we can come away from that platform, we can walk over to the other platform. Now really guys, you can add as many platforms as you like. You can just keep on going with these platforms. So you could probably branch off out this way for another platform. You could also branch off from over there to another platform. You could even put a nice bridge in between these 2 platforms. The options really are limitless with this base, because it's a module design. That is what this base is. It's a very module design. You can just keep adding and take away where needed. Rather than a platform here, maybe you could have another giant house. It's really up to you. And of course, if we come back over the suspension bridge and we walk over to this side, we've got a nice little tiny hut here. Now, this hut isn't just any old hut, no. This is a snail hut, because I have a ton of snails. It's so loud in here. I call them snails, but they're actually called Achatina. Achatina? Why are ARK names so hard today? All the names are so hard. So the snails just hang out in here and eat all the plants. Now, I haven't actually planted any plants in these crop pots. These are just JVH plants on top of the crop pots. So I imagine this hut could be used for like greenhouse plants, etc. And keeping your snails in here where you can feed them. I think they're fed veggie cakes or something. I don't know what they're fed. They're fed something. And they're fine in here. They're very happy. Now I'm going to walk around the back here because I haven't extended out this way. But I just want to show that obviously you can. Like, there's options to keep on extending with this base. So just keep on extending if that is what you wish. And now we come to the second hut over here. So this hut, I don't believe has anything inside it. I can't remember if I decorated in here. Did I? Oh, no. It's just a frog called Subscribe. Look at that. He's called Subscribe, which is what all of you should do right now. You should go and subscribe. Thank you very much. Please, I'm so close to 16,000. We've got a nice little seating area out here. And I've also placed in a ton of little storage boxes and barrels in places around the build, just to give it that more rustic and lived-in look. I also added in a ton of these rope ladders in places around the build, in random places and at random lengths. I really just feel like this adds to the whole aesthetics. But right, let's head on inside and I'll show you what I've done with the interior. So inside here we have our main crafting area that goes all the way around the build. As you can see, we've got all our essentials. We've got our preserving bins, our storage, our grill, our industrial cooker, some beer barrels, our smithing station, and a load of storage all here. We've even got some chemistry benches back here to do a little bit of lab work. And then in the middle, we've got our frog pen. Now this area is obviously raised down from the rest of the build, which I really like. And it's a perfect place to put in an industrial forge. Or you can just put a load of beelzebufos in here like I have. Look at all these little guys chilling out, having fun. And as you can see, for a bit of extra decoration, we got some rope ladders coming down and some vines in places. And I've just realised that I have used a second mod for decorations here for the interiors. And that is the Clinger's Rustic mod, I think it's called. And that mod comes with these netted hammocks, which I really liked and felt like they could look good as nets above the beer barrels. But right, let's head on upstairs and I'll show you what I've done to the upstairs as well. So coming on up the stairs here, we're met by a beautiful upstairs area. We have all our tribe mates to the left here, all chilling out, having a good time around the dinner table. All our bookshelves here. A little tap in case we need a drink, and we've also got some giddy costumes here going around the centre with some chests. Now, for the centre, I didn't really know what to do in the middle here, honestly. I ended up putting my favourite frog in the middle and giving him a bit of a pen, so he's a bit like our special pet up here. And then I put pillars going all the way up to the ceiling with some rope ladders coming down for a bit more decoration. We have all our storage over here. Another netted hammock here, another netted hammock, and another netted hammock. But this is all kind of centered around the fireplace in case we need to keep warm, with some bookshelves to the side here. Now, I was really like umming and ahhing about if I should block off certain areas of this upstairs, but I really like my builds to be open plan. I like space. I like to fill a lot of space. But I did end up doing a bit of a section here where I blocked it off for the bedroom. I felt like the bedroom needed to be separated off. Now, like the hammock, this is all part of the Clinger's Rustic mod, I believe. So I put in a wardrobe, a bedside table, a bed. All very nice decorations to have in the base. And this mod here is the styling table. I believe it's a mining mod. It's like a hair cutting mod, basically, to have different hairstyles. But honestly, other than that, it's a completely mod-free build. I've just added a few little mods just to add a few little additional details to the build to make it just that bit nicer. And with that, I think that's basically the base tour complete. Now guys, I didn't show how I did the interior on camera today, but it's so obvious how I did it. I just placed in a load of stuff going around the edge, placed in some frogs here, so I really didn't feel like it needed an interior tutorial this time, and I'm sure that you guys can do a lot better than me with the interior. So if you end up building this base, do pop onto my Discord and share some pictures of what you ended up doing with the interior, because I'll be really interested to see. And you should just join my Discord anyway, because it's a great Discord with great people. I have a fantastic community and I love them all. Anyhow guys, I really hope you enjoyed today's tutorial and base tour. So I just want to say a massive thank you to all my YouTube members, but shout out all the tier 2s and tier 3s. I really appreciate all your guys' support, and if you didn't know members, I do have an ARK server you can all join. Just pop onto my Discord and ask. A lot of you are already on it, but some of you aren't, so just to let you know, you do have that available to you. And as always guys, if you did enjoy today's video, don't forget to smash the like button, comment down below your thoughts, and why not subscribe? It's completely free and helps me out a ton. Now, until next time guys, love you guys to death, and I'll see you in the next video.